Name?
Ovi.
Something's wrong.
The city's on lockdown.
Yeah, no shit.
The job is fucked, Tyler.
Extraction unfolds as a relentless action story that places survival, redemption, and sacrifice at the center of a brutal rescue mission set within a city consumed by crime and power struggles. The film presents a world where the line between justice and violence is blurred, and where the people who operate in the shadows are often the only ones capable of carrying out impossible tasks. At its core, the story follows a man who lives on the edge of danger, someone whose life has been shaped by loss and whose reputation has been built through missions that most soldiers would never survive. This man is Tyler Rake, a hardened mercenary who has spent years moving from one conflict to another, completing dangerous operations for powerful clients who need problems solved quickly and quietly. Tyler Rake is introduced as someone who has grown used to living without attachments. His life revolves around combat, strategy, and endurance, and he operates with a calm intensity that comes from years of experience in the world's most violent environments. While many see him as fearless, the truth is that he carries a heavy emotional burden that constantly follows him. The past has left deep scars on his mind, and every mission he accepts feels like another step into a life that has already taken more from him than it has given back. Despite this internal struggle, Tyler continues working because the battlefield is the only place where he understands how to exist. The mission that drives the story begins when a powerful crime family faces a devastating crisis. The young son of an imprisoned drug lord has been kidnapped by a rival criminal empire, triggering a dangerous chain reaction between two of the most ruthless organizations in the region. The boy becomes a bargaining chip in a violent power struggle that threatens to erupt into a full-scale war across the criminal underworld. Desperate to bring the child back before the situation escalates further, the family hires a team of elite mercenaries capable of entering one of the most dangerous cities in the world and extracting the target before anyone realizes what has happened. Tyler Rake becomes the key figure in this operation. Known for his ability to survive missions that others would consider suicide, he is selected to lead the extraction. The plan appears simple at first: locate the kidnapped boy, remove him from the hostile environment, and transport him safely out of the city before rival forces can intervene. However, the reality of the situation proves far more complicated. The city itself is controlled by powerful criminal networks, corrupt officials, and armed groups loyal to the rival drug lord responsible for the kidnapping. Once the mission begins, Tyler quickly realizes that he is entering a battlefield where every street corner could become a deadly trap. The operation begins with precision and speed. Tyler infiltrates the city quietly, moving through crowded streets and hidden locations as he tracks down the boy's whereabouts. His training and experience allow him to navigate the chaos with controlled focus. When he finally locates the child, the rescue itself happens with sudden explosive force. Tyler storms the location with ruthless efficiency, neutralizing guards and securing the target within minutes. For a brief moment, it appears as though the mission will succeed exactly as planned. But the situation changes almost immediately. The rival crime lord discovers that the boy has been taken and reacts with overwhelming fury. Determined to prevent the escape at any cost, he orders every available soldier, mercenary, and corrupt official in the city to hunt Tyler down. Suddenly, the mission shifts from a stealth extraction to a desperate fight for survival. The entire city becomes a hostile environment filled with enemies who are determined to stop the escape before the child can reach safety. As Tyler attempts to move through the city with the rescued boy, the scale of the danger becomes clear. Armed patrols flood the streets, checkpoints appear everywhere, and gunfire erupts across crowded neighborhoods. The enemy forces have one advantage that Tyler cannot easily overcome: they control the territory. Every alley, rooftop, and bridge could be filled with hostile fighters waiting for the chance to intercept him. The mission transforms into a relentless chase through urban chaos where every decision must be made within seconds. Despite the overwhelming pressure, Tyler refuses to abandon the objective. Protecting the boy becomes more than just a professional responsibility. Over time, he begins to see something of himself in the frightened child who has been dragged. into a world of violence and power struggles that he never chose. The bond that slowly develops between them adds an emotional layer to the story. Tyler is no longer simply completing a contract. He is trying to give the boy a chance to escape a fate defined by the brutal world his family controls. The action sequences that follow are intense and relentless, showing Tyler using every skill he possesses to survive. High-speed chases tear through crowded streets as vehicles crash and gunfire erupts in every direction. Close-quarters combat becomes a constant necessity as enemies attack from rooftops, buildings, and moving vehicles. Tyler fights with a combination of tactical precision and raw determination, constantly adapting to new threats as they appear. One of the film's most striking qualities is the way it immerses the audience in the chaos of urban warfare. The camera follows the action closely, making every gunshot and explosion feel immediate and dangerous. Instead of feeling like distant spectacle, the combat sequences place viewers directly in the middle of the conflict. The city becomes a maze of danger where survival depends on quick thinking and relentless movement. At the same time, the story continues exploring Tyler's internal struggle. Each moment of violence forces him to confront the reality of the life he has chosen. The mission becomes a reflection of his own search for redemption. By protecting the boy and ensuring his survival, Tyler hopes to accomplish something meaningful in a world where most of his actions have only contributed to more destruction. The forces pursuing them grow more desperate as the escape continues. Elite fighters are deployed, heavy weapons appear in the streets, and the authorities themselves become involved in the hunt. What began as a criminal operation evolves into a citywide manhunt that leaves no safe place to hide. Tyler must rely not only on his strength and combat experience, but also on his ability to anticipate enemy movements and stay one step ahead of those hunting him. Throughout the journey, moments of quiet conversation between Tyler and the boy reveal the emotional heart of the story. The child struggles to understand the violence surrounding him, while Tyler attempts to reassure him despite knowing how fragile their chances of survival really are. These moments highlight the contrast between innocence and experience, reminding the audience that behind every battle lies a human cost. As the escape route narrows and time begins to run out, the mission reaches its most dangerous stage. Tyler must cross heavily defended areas while enemy forces close in from every direction. Bridges become battlegrounds, buildings turn into fortresses, and every step forward requires incredible courage. The tension builds steadily as it becomes clear that reaching the final extraction point will demand more than just skill. It will require sacrifice. The final act of the story delivers a powerful culmination of the themes that have been developing throughout the film. Tyler faces overwhelming opposition as he pushes forward with the boy, determined to complete the mission no matter the cost. The battles become more intense and personal, with every confrontation carrying the weight of everything that has happened before. In these final moments, Tyler's journey comes full circle. The man who began the mission as a detached mercenary driven by survival instincts alone now fights with a clear purpose. Protecting the boy becomes a symbol of something larger than the mission itself. It represents the chance to break the cycle of violence that has defined both their lives. Extraction ultimately stands as a story about resilience in the face of impossible odds. The film combines explosive action with a deeply human narrative about loss, responsibility, and the search for redemption. Tyler Rake's journey shows that even in the darkest environments, moments of courage and compassion can still exist. The world portrayed in the film is harsh and unforgiving, yet it also reveals the strength that individuals can find when they choose to protect others rather than themselves. Through relentless combat, emotional struggles, and powerful acts of determination, the story captures the idea that true heroism often emerges in the most dangerous circumstances. By the time the mission reaches its conclusion, the audience has witnessed a transformation not only in the events of the story but also in the man at its center. Tyler Rake may have entered the city as a mercenary with nothing left to lose, but his actions during the mission prove that even someone who lives in the shadows can still fight for something meaningful. Extraction leaves a lasting impression through its combination of intense action and emotional depth. The film reminds viewers that behind every mission, every gunfight, and every escape lies a human story shaped by choices, sacrifices, and the hope that even the most broken paths can lead toward redemption.